I recently watched the movie Call Me By Your Name. At the end of this movie, my heart, my soul, my mind, my mental health, everything was shattered into hundreds of thousands of millions of billions of trillion pieces. I was benumbed by astonishment, sadness, even anger at some points of the movie. I was completely devastated. And I'm not even exaggerating, and most of the people who have ever watched it, they also can claim and agree that at the end, this movie, it can change your entire life, your perspectives, and your viewpoints about the place, northern Italy, somewhere. The whole environment is really beautiful. There is nothing which you can say here. The rivers, the hot weather, the fresh fruits, the dinners outside, the outside parties, and all of these summer activities. But the plot and the whole scenario, it is about two boys, two men, Oliver, who is 24 years old, and Ilya, who is 17 years old. For me, this is one of the prettiest love story which I've ever seen. There are lots of different complicated opinions about the movie. Some people hate it, some people love it. First, let's start with the positive aspect and what I think about it. I think that a 17 years old man is completely able to feel pure love and real love. I think that even when we are younger and when we are in our teenage years, we feel the most intense, the strongest, and the most pure form of love. Because after this, when we get older and when the life gets harsh on us, there are lots of different factors and different conditions in the process of dating, of relationships, and choosing our partners. But when we are teenagers, when we are young, we select the people who we really love. Not because of their net worth, not because of their status, only because we love them, only because of our feelings. The negative opinions and the negative viewpoints which people have about this movie are about the age gap. 17 years old, this is a young person. But sometimes I've already talked about this previously that the physical age, it doesn't have nothing to do with the wisdom, with the experience, and with the feelings. If they both love each other, what is the problem? There is no violence, there is no pushing, there is no forcing for different things. You know what I'm talking about. And for every act of intimacy, there is an agreement from both of them. No one is hurt, no one is pushing, no one is forcing someone to do something. So for me, this type of age gap is not a problem because, for instance, if Ilya was 13 or 14 years old, yes, it will be a huge problem. But he's 17 years old. Let's be sincere, let's be clear, transparent, and honest that most of the 17 years old teenagers, they have already tried lots of different types of substances, addictive things, and vast variety of different acts of intimacy. Most of the teenagers, they have tried these addictive substances even earlier. Some of them when they were 12, 13, 14. Secondly, I think that Ilya is blessed with his parents. His parents, especially his mother, they're so emotionally intelligent. They're so sensitive, they're so sensible. They always know what is going on, but they're always having the back of their son. They're always next to him, they're always supporting him, they're understanding him, they're not judging him, they're not against him. They're an amazing example of a parents. Because lots of people with different sexuality from the straight one, experience struggles with their parents, with their relatives, with friends. But I'm so happy, and I was so amazed when I saw that at least in this movie we don't see this type of family, and we see a really supportive, kind, and loving parents. I was amazed by the closeness and the close relationship which they have, and how Ilio feels confident and comfortable to talk about every single topic with his parents. Unfortunately, not everyone has this chance to live and to be brought up in such a healthy environment. At the beginning, I mentioned that I also felt anger, a little bit, slightly anger. Before even I started watching it, I knew that this is a movie with a really sad, and I'm not even exaggerating, but tragic end. I was watching it, it was amazing because the first 2 hours of the movie, they're perfect. And when I say perfect, I mean the purest and the best definition of perfection. A love story, a beautiful country, somewhere people who love each other, they are having this romance, everything is literally perfect. It is so beautiful, it is brim with love, passion, excitement. And the last 8 minutes, I mean, literally the last 8 to 10 minutes, are the moment which I felt in the most awful way. These 10 minutes are the worst 10 minutes of the whole movie. The end is awful, and it is something which will literally keep you up at night for days, even weeks. This is the thing which affected me so much, which literally broke me, is that 2 hours you were enjoying this so beautiful and so pure romance, and after this, at the end, only for 10 minutes, everything is destroyed, everything is changed. From happiness, enthusiasm, everything at the end is sadness, darkness, winter, cold, weather, feelings of abandonment, and hopelessness. My indignation comes from the fact that for 2 hours I was having the time of my life, I was watching one of the best movies which I had ever seen, and at the end, I was speechless. Also, I have few questions. First of all, it is clear that the love is mutual. They are both loving each other strongly, intensively, and with real feelings. So, why in the whole movie they have never ever discussed the problem that Oliver has to live, to find a solution how to stay together, how to be together, and how to live just happily after. They have never ever, even for a moment, talked about this, about the, I think, the main problem that they have only 6 weeks. For me, it is absolutely insufficient quantity of time. And I will get back to Ilio's parents that they're so supportive and they're always having his back. So I think, and I'm 95% sure, that if he decides to go somewhere with Oliver, to live happily after with him, to turn into a family with him, they'll definitely support him, because his parents are one of the most supportive kind of parents which I've ever seen. But Ilio and Oliver, in the whole movie, they have never ever discussed this. If you love someone, if you both love each other, and for me, I really see this, and my interpretation of this type of love is that it is a pure blessing, because unfortunately, not everyone has the luck to feel and to have this type of love. There are people who has never ever experienced such a love like theirs. If you have such a strong feelings, such a strong love and bond relationship with someone, you enjoy, for you it's pleasurable to be with this person, to spend your life with this person, why you give up so easily? Why you accept and you don't fight together through the impediments. Why they're not trying to find a solution, why they are not trying to stay together, why they accept the fact that one day Oliver has to leave. In my opinion, if you have the luck to have love and to experience love like theirs, you need to fight for this person and you need to chase your happiness together, but only if the love is mutual from both sides. But in their case, this is exactly what is going on. To watch the movie and after this to be able to cope with everything can be a really tough experience. This is one of the best love stories which I have ever seen, one of the best environments, but also maybe the saddest movie which I've ever watched. I think that most people will accept it as rational that if you love someone and the other person he loves you too, I mean you both love each other, and also really important, you have the support of your parents, I mean the unlimited unconditional love and support of your parents. Of course you should try to find a way to be with your loved ones, with your partner, with your, in their case with his romantic partner Oliver. But let's don't forget the fact that the story in the movie is taking place in the early 80s. It wasn't that long ago, actually, but it wasn't common and it wasn't accepted very well by people to have different type of sexuality rather than straight. So I think that this is a serious problem which has a huge impact on their decision to don't chase and to don't look forward to have a life together. And these are the moments which make me cry, and in the same time I wish that I can just go there and tell them to fight for each other and to don't give up so easily, and to don't let the conditions separate them so easily. Because a love such as theirs can be only once in a lifetime. And some people, how I said, never have experienced that. I really wish that there was a part two where everyone is happy, smiling, have the life of their dreams, but unfortunately, sometimes this is the life. Not everything has happy ending. Call Me By Your Name is the perfect example of this. I'm still dealing and I still try to cope with all of the thoughts and the emotions which I'm feeling even days after I watched that. I definitely suggest and recommend this movie. Even though that at the end you feel like you don't want to be here anymore, it is worthy to say it. I think that we need to fight for the people who we love. At the end, I cannot even imagine the excruciating pain which Ilya feels when Oliver told him that he's about to get married. I think that a sentence like this can absolutely kill you emotionally. Physically, you will be alive, but you will be just existing, not living anymore. And when Oliver said, I will remember, what do you mean you will remember? Yes, you will remember, but you will marry someone else. I don't think that this quote will help Ilya to feel better. After everything which they have experienced together, this end is so traumatizing, brim with sadness, darkness, loneliness, and hopelessness, and a completely destroyed future. Because, in my opinion, Ilya will be looking for Oliver until the end of his days.